Hi, my name's Keith Cooper, Northlight Images. This is one of my sort of regular updates on what's new in printing that I'm looking at in the way of printers. And the thing is that the printer that when I'm asked what's my favourite printer, what printer do I recommend, the one that I've recommended for years is being updated. Now, if you've looked at any of my reviews, you'll know that I very rarely ever say this is best, this is my favourite. The reason that over the past few years I always give the Epson P20500 my recommended printer is for people who ask me, what's the best printer to get, Keith? And make no specifications as to budget, type of inks, size or anything like that. So my standard reply to people who can't specify their question any more than what's the best printer is to say the Epson P20000. Now, I reviewed this a while ago. I had to go down to Epson because it's a 64-inch printer. Now, I will be coming back to some other printers, including, and I know a lot of people are waiting for info on the Canon Pro 1000 replacement, and I'll cover that in a bit, but first of all, my bestest printer. Well, yeah, of course it is. It's huge. Well, this is the P20500, which has just been announced. As I say, I looked at the 20,000. In fact, the prints of it are so big. I've got a picture here. I bought some prints back. And this is a large print with Karen standing inside of it, waving out the top of it. The prints really are that big. They're huge. And yes, it's a bit tongue-in-cheek when I tell people, yes, it's my favourite printer because they're expensive, the paper costs you a fortune. In fact, even handling 64-inch width paper, when the prints come off, you may want a take-up feed on it. You know, it's very difficult to handle sheets of paper that big and very easy to damage them, and they're expensive. So, what's in this 20,000? Now, I've got some notes I put together on the Northlight site for some details, but essentially it is a huge, great printer. What's particularly interesting about it is that they've upped the number of inks, they've changed the inks slightly, and there is no longer any ink cartridges. So I'll come back to what you actually get and what you need to do, and an important caveat. But this printer is only being shown at the Drupa show and won't be available to buy probably until later in the summer. Now, at some point I will go and have a look, and I will do a review of this printer because yeah, it's fun to make prints on printers this size, particularly when somebody else is supplying you the ink and paper. And I do have a lot of images that I'd quite like to see how they come out at printed at 60-inch by 80-inch for a 100 megapixel image from a GFX 100S or something. But anyway, looking at the printer, yeah, standard printer, you'll notice those boxes that stack at the side of it. Those are where the inks go. Now, come back to that in a moment. But the ink set itself has been changed, and it now has, as well as the greys, still has two blacks. So although it's a 12-ink printer, you're only actually ever using 11 at the time. So looking at the inks, you'll notice that it's got quite an interesting range of inks. It has green, orange and violet inks in addition to the normal mix. Now, that's quite interesting and should make this a great printer for fine art printing. How have they done that? Well, actually they've changed the print head, the original print head. This is the one from the P20000. You notice a convenient large space at one end of it, and the new printer has added 2 extra rows to give you a total of 12 supported colours. Remember, only 11 in use at any one time. So that's the printer there. Now, I mentioned the inks. The inks come in pouches or packs. They don't come in plastic boxes anymore. They fit in this whatever it is rack at the side. Each ink pack is 1.6 litres of ink. That's a lot of ink. Mind you, this is a fast printer. It's not quite as fast, I don't think, as the P20000, but still very fast for a printer. It's a huge, great print head. Look potentially to see the print head from this appear in the successors to the P7500, the P9500 when they come. This certainly indicates where they're going. I don't think those will go to the ink pack system like this with that pack device standing at the side of it, but that's what they are. Anyway, it's an impressive printer. One little, I'm going to assume that if you're wealthy enough to be affording one of these for your business, presumably, or if you're wealthy enough to be buying one of these for your back room, for your home printer, you're not going to worry that it comes with no inks. That's right, there are no inks supplied with it. So when you fork up, and the price isn't available yet, but it will be thousands, when you buy one of these, remember that you're also going to need to buy 12 1.6 litre ink packs to go with it to get the printer up and going. So I will come back to a review of this in good time, probably later on in the year. And yeah, if I remember from the P20500 testing, should be good. But more people are probably interested on something a bit more affordable, on the Canon Pro 1000 replacement. Now, the fact that I'm still talking about it means that I haven't seen one. I don't have any firm information on it. I'm inclined to think, seeing what's being released and various things, that yes, later on this year we will be seeing a replacement for the Pro 1000. The Pro 2600, the change of ink sets there, the use of the same print head. I've mentioned this before. Essentially what I'm saying is that there is no news at the moment, but we're obviously getting closer to something. Now, if I suddenly stop doing any comments on that, well, draw your own conclusions. But at the moment, there is nothing I cannot tell you about it. That's the state of that. In terms of other replacement printers, I've been asked several people, are we going to see replacements for the P700, the P900? I don't think so this year. We may see some more EcoTank printers, and we may see some interesting ink tank printers from Canon. I am still hopeful that Canon will have taken on board the problem for Mac users of their ink tank, Megatank printers. I just have to remember all the different names of that. Canon's ink tank printers don't have proper drivers for the Mac. I'm hoping that someone at Canon has seen sense, and that we will later this year actually see printer drivers for the Mac that have proper colour management. And then for Mac users, that moves these printers from my be very careful, maybe avoid category to, yeah, great, have a go, should work. Curious to see what happens on that. As to smaller printers, if anyone sees something that you're particularly interested in, do drop me an email or something like that. I'm always looking for stuff to test, and the likes of Canon and Epson are usually, in the UK here, are usually pretty generous in lending me something to have a look at, to cover things in videos. So there you have it, bit of a roundup of odds and ends. Well, one huge great printer that, yes, that literally would not fit anywhere in my house. So yeah, that's one of the reasons I recommend it to people when they say, what's the best printer to get? Yeah, get one of those. Well, later this year, up until then, P20000. Who knows, maybe bargains on the P20000. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, as I say, do let me know, and thank you.